From Chancay to Shanghai has become a popular slogan with the opening of the new megaport in Peru. It's putting a spotlight on the country and region as a new hub for international trade. I speak with Teresa Mera Gomez, Peru's Vice Minister for Foreign Trade and Tourism. At the Ministry of Foreign Trade and Tourism, Minister Gomez has served roles as Chief of Staff, Director for North America and Europe, and head of the negotiating team on IP for trade agreements with the European Union, Canada, China, and others. She also teaches courses on intellectual property and international negotiations. I met Minister Gomez in Lima, Peru. The meeting was an opportunity for Peru to expand on existing trade agreements.
For Peru, APEC is a very relevant platform to expand our free trade agreements. In fact, at this stage, we have agreements with 14 economies from APEC. We signed an optimization of our free trade agreement with China after 14 years that become into force. We found some spaces in the last meeting, APEC meeting here in Peru in 2016. Both presidents talk about the possibility to analyze new opportunities to strengthen our trade. We signed additional chapters and additional optimization of some of the current chapters in the agreement.
The historic opening of the Port of Chancay will significantly cut down travel times and costs for goods moving between South America and Asia. Peru's president has called the port a nerve center that is expected to create 8,000 jobs and $4.5 billion worth of annual economic activity.
The megaport, the inauguration, clearly that's going to open up new avenues for trade. How do you envision that moving forward? How does Chancay change the equation?
That's going to represent a big change, not only for us as Peru, because I think that this is our opportunity to become a hub for the region, a logistic hub for the region, but also for our neighbors. So in our particular case, in the case of Peru, we have big expectations on that. We are working very hard on to take all the infrastructure aspects to take more advantage of this port. It's an open platform for going much faster to China. You know, we are a country which imports fresh products. So time, it's very important for us. We are going to have like between 10 and 12 days shorter in the time to go to China and then to China to the other economies or countries around Asia.
And speed is a need, but also that the speed also cuts down on costs too. And actually, it's much, when you think about it, obviously if you've got blueberries, you've got to get them there quickly. But the speed also reduces the costs and really is a plus in that regard as well.
Indeed, that's also one of the elements that we consider in that, because we are in the possibility to be more competitive for the international markets. Costs are going to be reduced, and we already took very many actions to prepare the way. We approved the law that allows two international ships to stop in the ports to take cargo and go to Chancay and to Callao also, because also Callao is a very important port that both of the ports have been modernized during this year. They are improving their services, and in that sense, cabotage is going to be allowed also for international ships. That's very important because a very important part of our productive forces are as is. So they will be able to consolidate containers in the north, let's say in Paita, which is a port in the north, then to wait until the ship comes from some other place to take the cargo to Shanghai or to Callao. There we are going to avoid the use of highways and the risk and the cost that implies that kind of term.
So talk to me, obviously trade, you're thinking about that today, working out agreements, but it's also a vision towards what the future looks like. Well, what does this do for Peru's economy, maybe in the next 5 years, do you think, having the port there?
In Peru, we have a plan for which defines our profile as a exporter country. In that sense, now in this moment, we are a main exporter of minerals and also agricultural products, most of them in road. But we are working very hard to go a step further, to industrialize our production and to change our supply to the world. Also for agricultural products, maybe to process them. We are doing that with some Andean grains and also with cacao, chocolates. We are moving to chocolates from cocoa beans to chocolates. And we are working very hard, in particular with small enterprises around the whole country.
The Belt and Road Initiative obviously has been quite important in Latin America and Caribbean nations. 22 of them have signed on. Chancay, of course, a prime example of how it's working. How would you describe the Belt and Road Initiative and kind of the influence it's had on Latin America?
We've been working on that. We've been participating in that plan or in that project in China. I think that is very important because that's also give us the opportunity to talk with the other countries with that participating in this plan to work together and to exchange not only plans, not only experiences, but also to find opportunities to work together in how to provide to the world, to China and to other places.
More than 80% of global trade is carried out through waterways. Climate change poses a threat to ports, canals, and other water passages. A study by Oxford's Environmental Change Institute found that $81 billion in international trade is at risk due to climate change events.
Climate change obviously is out there
Yes.
and a pressing issue. What are the discussions surrounding climate change? And also digital economy seems to be the buzzword we hear a lot these days as well. Can you talk about both of those?
Digital economy is a key issue, not only in the margins of the EPIC meetings, but also around the world. I think that at this stage is out of discussion of the relevance of the digital economy in our countries. Being aware of that, during this year, we present 3 weeks, digital weeks, where there were spaces for discuss different concerns about digitalization and digital economy. Let's talk about, we already talked about artificial intelligence, among others. Also, how can we do to make these benefits of the digital economy goes to small places, to the further places around our economies. I think that was very important. We count with the participation of the academia and experts from that particular sector.
In climate change?
Well, that's a big concern for all of us. I think that all our economies are facing determined situations regarding this. Last year, we had very difficult moments because during 1 year, we faced 2 phenomena that affect even some of our crops. But anyway, in that sense, we talk about this very seriously in how to find the spaces to develop internal policies to try to mitigate these issues.
I'm going to finish with one final question. President Xi Jinping had a letter to the Peruvian people, which was published in the newspaper, showing deep affection and kind of illustrating the relationship between these two countries and how it dates back many, many years. Can you talk to us about that relationship how it's kind of grown over the years, because you've been part of this, you've watched it grow, and where does it go from here?
Well, that's I think that the free trade agreement we signed 14 years ago, that was a departing element for our relationship. Our trade increased in a very relevant manner, and then with time, we saw that our supply and imports and exports are changing, are moving. And sometimes we hear that you are not taking advantage of that agreement. You are just receiving what China sent to your country. But it's not necessarily that way, because we identify also opportunities for our producers, like buying goods for capital goods for the enterprises, and also that's our main trade partner for now. After instead, I have to say that in this moment, minerals is still leading our basket, but it's our agricultural products are increasing, and they are going to increase more. And also with Shanghai, there is an opportunity for the establishment of enterprises to produce technological products, which is one of our main interests too, as part of this project that I already mentioned, to change our supply to the world. I think that we have to be very, very fast and very dynamic to adapt our internal offer to our production for international markets. China is an opportunity. It's helping us to get this goal. In addition to trade, they also are part of we receive relevant investment from them. They are one of our main investors. Maybe not yet the first one, but they are investing a lot here in the country.
It's an important relationship, no doubt about it. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.